This is Golf with Jay Delsing. A two-time All-American at UCLA. Competed in nearly 700 PGA Tour events, 7 professional wins to his credit. Over 30 years of professional golf experience. A member of the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame and the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. This is Golf with Jay Delsing.
Welcome into Golf with Jay Delsing. Another Sunday morning is upon us. Jay is already giggling over there. I'm Dan McLaughlin. And as always, we're presented by Doherty Business Solutions. And the Car Shield Studios are on the road because we wanted to hook up with Matt Bender. He'll be one of our guests. He'll come up next segment from the Amateur Players Tour. They actually had their launch of their season, the unveiling of their schedule here, about 7 to 9 days ago. And we came back to Elevate because he was going to be here with a lot of his members. Elevate, one of the top places to play and practice in the St. Louis area. And Jay, away we go.
Yeah, Danny, that's a mouthful, man. We got a great show. It's super cool to be out here at Elevate to these facilities. I mean, we're sitting back here in the short game area, Danny. We're looking at real sand in a bunker. We're looking at some super challenging looking shots and just a really upbeat, cool facility, you know. And it's neat that this is available here for we golfers in St. Louis and the St. Louis community.
100%, and they've got a lot of members. Memberships are open, but they've also got their league starting up. I think the Amateur Players Tour is going to have a league that's set up out here at Elevate, so you get the team idea coming out here. Bring your neighbor, bring your kids, bring your friends, have a little fun, and that's what this place is all about.
Absolutely. My favorite female golfer in the state of Missouri, Avery McLaughlin, is now an employee out here.
She's teaching out here.
She's secretly got her foot in the door so she could get on these track men. I know her ulterior motives.
Wasn't about the money.
No,
I can
it's
tell you
like,
that.
let's go. Can I hit some balls? I'm
exactly.
like, I just love it. But this Elevate facility is second to none in our community. It is absolutely. It's when you walk in to the door, you're going to see, oh gosh, I guess 8 or 9 bays. There's 7 full TrackMan situations out there. There's a bar. There's some refreshments. There's also a full-service gym, Danny. And then in the back, you have this short game area, and it's just an all-encompassing way to get better at your game, to work on different things. And their system is disrupting it there, and they are deliberately trying to help people in different ways get better at their game.
Yeah, you say disrupting, that's a positive thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of the newer way to measure a swing might be one way to look at it. I think the way that they're training the body, the gym that they have here,
100%,
it's golf-specific in many ways. So those are kind of things that you look at that you say those are disruptors, but those are good things to have in the game of golf.
Yeah, disruptor may have a negative connotation. I don't mean that at all. It's just a different way to do it from the typical, I need a 1-hour lesson, and I got to fit it in between my lunch, and then I got to go back to work. This is something that you can carve out time in your day when it works for you. Maybe it's 10:30 in the morning, on a Wednesday and a Thursday or something like that. But what's really cool about this is that we've talked about this before. Our weather's turning. Damn it, it's not good. We look at each other like, why?
Yeah.
Why do we live
here?
But these guys are doing these things in such a cool way because Tyler is the doctor of physiology, I guess they call him here, but he's a phenomenal physical therapist, and he's helping people move better, and we're not pushing a bunch of weights for everybody. Some of the younger guys are, but the older guys aren't. It's more about stretching, Danny, and it's amazing how much stronger you are when you're flexible.
You were telling me you have a buddy that started working out here at Elevate and then improved his swing speed by 13 miles per hour?
Steve Burke. Hopefully we're gonna run into Steve before too long. But absolutely 13 miles an hour club head speed, and I almost fell off my chair because now it's not that is just an unbelievable advancement. It is just really super cool.
So in terms of that, let's just try to measure this in distance. What is 13 miles per hour? Now, I know you're talking about an amateur compared to a pro. I get all that, but in terms of distance, what do you think that might be?
I'll just tell you, for me, Denny, if it was me and I went from 100 where I am now, let's say I'm at 110 and I went to 123, I'd be 30 yards, 40 yards.
Wow.
Maybe. Game changer sort of stuff, right?
Sure.
For Steve, it's got to probably be in that 15 to 20. But what it is that, look, there's nothing like that feeling of stretching something out while you're out there playing, and when you find that really nice, sweet connection, that corresponding distance, it's a great feeling. And it's also nice, going up to a par 3 that you played most of your life where you've been hitting 7-iron and going, maybe it's an 8 or a 9 today.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty cool too.
So I being around you all the time, I see people come up to you and they say, Jay, try this. It's like Tin Cup.
Yeah.
Put this on your head. You got to swing golf ball this way. When you stand over the ball, you stand on one. I mean, I see it, everything that comes at you. Somebody trying to sell you on something in the game of golf.
Yeah.
How did this all come about for you to learn about Elevate? And I know you're in it, man. You love Elevate Golf. You come out here, you'll hit balls, you'll do different things, you'll teach out here.
Yep.
How did it all come about for you?
So my friend Steve Burke lives out in this Lake St. Louis area, and he was telling me about his friend Kyle Laramie, who, Danny, Kyle started. He's got his own very, very successful entrepreneur is what Kyle is. But he started branching off from his typical business, which is in the healthcare business. And he went, and I think it's called P3, or it's that pitching training facility. And then he thought, and Kyle is a great athlete. He's a professional pickleball player, believe it or not, and a hell of an athlete, a good golfer. He's got a son, Blake, who's a really good young player. And he thought, man, there's not really a training facility. There's not really a place there's driving ranges, but where do we train? And what's interesting, Danny, Tiger talks about this all the time. The difference between rehabbing something in his body and training to play, meaning when he's training, he is working specifically on some aspect of his golf game and swing specifically. Maybe it's a short game, maybe it's a bunker shot, maybe it's driving, whatever it is, but it's breaking the game down in those specifics in training, and that's one of the things. So Elevate uses data-driven information off the track, man, to help people understand their game in a little different way. And look at folks, don't get freaked out. This is not, I have to understand what TrackMan is. No, these guys understand what TrackMan is. Let's say you're going, Danny, let's say you and I are headed down to Scottsdale, and we decide we're going to pop into Kierland and play a quick 9, and they've got a TrackMan on there. We could get you on there. I can get on there, whatever. Get 6 or 8, 10, 20 swings, whatever, and we can send that data back to them, and they can relate our ball flights, our spin rates, all of these technical things that you don't need to know about. But they'll say, no, Danny, you're still coming a little too much from the in to out, so your ball's got that right to left spin on it, and we got to keep working on X, Y, and Z that we outlined for you. And so the data gives them the information to go, no, it's not, we're getting better, because that data doesn't lie. And the funny thing is, you'll see the difference in your ball flight. You may not exactly know it, but you'll go, something's different here, man. Something's going on differently. And to see that in amateurs, just in my own eyes, when I'd be making a swing change and I put it to use and go, dang, man, that is super, super cool.
It's amazing, and I'll use my daughter as an example again, but she has, you talk about it, you get so technical, it's way over my head, but you guys talk about being inside too much, going outside too much.
Yep.
She came out here to Elevate, not only to work, but to hit balls, and the data backed it up. What you've been saying, like you're teaching her, and you're saying, this is what's going on. And you know how my daughter can be. Whatever, Jay.
Hard worker, right. Great girl. She's an athlete and she's a competitor.
But then the data tells her exactly what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. It absolutely does. And what I love about Avery, now that we're talking about Avery, is that I want it now.
Oh, yeah.
I understand. No, why am I not able to come get my numbers right where they want? And It takes a minute.
Yeah.
It's okay, because with Avery, we've lowered her arms a little bit so she's not as high and steep in her backswing, and so we've shallowed her out a little bit, and it's very natural when you go from steep to a little shallower on your arm plane to go more into out. That's just, it's okay. But the thing is, she still won Player of the Year. She still won, doing all these things. And what I love about her and so many of the folks out here is they have a real desire to get better. And Avery's wants to beat people, Danny. She wants to shoot low scores, and she wants to play great golf, and I'm in for that.
What do pros look at on the track, man? Are they specifically looking at one or two things as opposed to what the amateurs looking at?
Yes. We are not going to have massive amounts of dispersion variance, Danny, meaning our 6 irons, we're not going to miss many 6 irons by more than 10 or 15 yards, where an amateur might, well, every once in a while we may make that swing. What we're looking for is spin rates, launch angles, and then the path, because all of it's basically the club face as it relates to the path, right? So if we swing a tiny bit into out with a square face, we are going to hit a pure golf shot.
Yeah, makes sense.
And that's what they're looking at. And so, D, one of the things in my generation that none of us knew or did well, none of us, even the great Jack Nicklaus, did not hit up on their drivers. Even though it was on a tee and wasn't on the ground, a persimmon drive, it just wasn't. That's not the way guys drove the ball. Some guys did better than others. Greg Norman was one of the best wooden-headed drivers of the ball that I've ever seen. Fuzzy Zeller, completely underrated with it. John Daly was a great, really super long driver of the ball. But when this change came and the tech all changed, now all of a sudden we're like, whoa, wait a second. So we know that there's an optimum spin rate for your golf ball with your driver, Danny. You want to launch it as high as you can up to 15 degrees. Rory McIlroy right now, D, is the, and I know
incredible.
This is a little technical, but he is the model, D. He's perfect. He drives it unbelievably well, but he launches it at 15, so the ball performs the best with these modern clubs. You've got to swing up on it and launch, and then what we're looking at is how much spin, because you don't want to hit it super high, because the ball will just have too much spin and it'll climb up instead of going forward as it climbs up.
Yeah, makes sense.
So there's an optimum number of amount of spin, and it's somewhere around 3,000 to 3,200 RPMs. And then certain times, D, you might go, hey, man, I'm going to Scotland, and it's going to blow like hell, and I don't care about 3,200. I'm going to take this thing down, and I'm going to take a little loft off my driver, and I'm going to hit it at 2,500 because I actually want it to go lower.
I love it. And you can find that out here at Elevate Golf. That's where we're at on this Sunday morning. Hope everybody, by the way, had a great Thanksgiving with Jay Delsing. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Live from Elevate Golf, the CarShield Studios on the road. We're presented by Daugherty Business Solutions. And Matt Mender from the Amateur Players Tour is coming up next.
Are you tired of watching your golf scores go up every year? Despite new equipment and even a couple lessons, you still fight that slice or your inability to get that ball up and down out of the bunker? Well, get ready to experience better golf with Elevate Golf. At Elevate Golf, we're changing the way golfers practice with our innovative and data-driven approach to learning and, most importantly, improving. We have an array of membership options where you can find the perfect fit for your golf, your lifestyle, and your budget. Whether you start in our full-service gym, the short game area that has real sand bunker, or one of our 7 TrackMan simulator bays, the team at Elevate Golf will do a complete assessment of you and your game, which is crucial because if you don't know where you're starting from, it's nearly impossible to attain a goal or a new level. Call us today at 636-265-0557 or visit us at elevategolf.com. That's ELV8golf.com. Contact us today and get ready to play better golf. Are you driving an out-of-warranty car? It's only a matter of time before your out-of-warranty vehicle is in the shop costing you thousands of dollars. Auto repair costs are up nearly 20% from last year, which is 4 times the rate of inflation. If an unexpected breakdown happened today, would you be ready for that? Well, now you can be with a plan through CarShield. Even if your car is just over 3 years old, it's still prone to expensive costs. Your car is more than just getting you from point A to point B. Traveling by car is a way of life. From picking up your kids to going to a new restaurant, cars are a daily essential. When you enroll in a car protection plan through CarShield, you can look forward to the following. The price will never go up no matter how many claims you file, or no matter how high the mileage on your car increases. CarShield offers protection plans that start as low as $100 per month. That's $100 per month. They have repair coverage for up to 5,000 different parts of your vehicle. Plus, when your car breaks down and you're stuck on the side of the road, you get 24/7 coast-to-coast roadside assistance. You also get complimentary towing and rental car options. CarShield has my back when my car breaks down, and they can have yours too. Call CarShield today at 800-465-6550 or visit carshield.com. It's CarShield, proud sponsor of the Golf with Jay Delsing show.
Hi, this is Peter Jacobson, and you're listening to Golf with Jay Delsing.
If you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, any make or model, then you need to visit the Dean Team Volkswagen of Kirkwood. They are the official vehicle provider of the Golf with Jay Delsing show. My daughter and I both drive vehicles supplied by Conlin and the Dean Team Volkswagen of Kirkwood, and it's because we know we can trust them. They made the car buying experience painless and easy, and their customer service is second to none. Every single step of the car buying experience was taken care of for us. You can reach Colin at 314-966-0303, and he will answer all of your questions and put your mind at ease. The Dean Team Volkswagen of Kirkwood has new or pre-owned vehicles to be purchased or leased, whichever you prefer. Once you visit the Dean Team Volkswagen on Manchester in Kirkwood, you'll be a customer for life because they will treat you like family. The Dean Team Volkswagen of Kirkwood, the official vehicle provider of the Golf with Jay Delsing show. I'm delighted to welcome the Amateur Players Tour to the Golf with Jay Delsing show. The APT team has worked so hard to establish a national golf tour for amateurs. Folks, don't miss out on this opportunity. If you love golf and ever wondered what all the fuss about tournament golf is, then this tour is for you. We just released the 2024 schedule, and it is a beast. There's 21 events currently in the metropolitan St. Louis area with many more to come. But check out these golf courses: Paynes Valley, Ozark National, Stonewolf, Ambrier, Persimmon Woods, Gateway National, and a 36-hole event on Norwood's West Course, and many more. Okay, so the courses are certainly cool and nice, but what's really neat is the way the events are run and how they are run. The APT team does a fantastic job of closely monitoring handicaps and ensuring a good and fair competition. There are 5 divisions, a year-long points competition, major championships, elevated events, and much, much more. Right now, there are over 6,000 members in 41 different local chapters across the country, and all that's happened in just over 5 years. Join now and don't miss out on the best tournament golf in the country, run for amateurs by amateurs themselves. Go to amateurplayerstour.com. That's amateurplayerstour.com. Daugherty Business Solutions has been enhancing the business of our customers for the last 37 years. How do we do it? Through our expertise in technology, better use of data and analytics, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. We roll up our sleeves and collaborate. We build applications and effectively communicate with our partner clients to bring their goals and objectives to the finish line. Our award-winning Access Point program is a community game changer. With nearly 100 students in the program, mostly young African-American females are making between $55,000 and $60,000 per year right out of high school. That's right, $55,000 to $60,000 a year right after high school graduation. That's when they begin their training. CEO Ron Daugherty believes the talent is equally distributed, but access to that opportunity is not. So here's Access Point, providing more and more opportunity for those in and around our community. It's Daugherty Business Solutions.
Golf with Jay Delsing rolls on, and the CarShield studios are on the road. We're at Elevate Golf, as we talked about in our first segment with Jay Delsing. I'm Dan McLaughlin. CarShield studios on the road, presented by Daugherty Business Solutions. We've got Elevate Golf, Jay, and we also have Amateur Players Tour, so we're staying busy this Sunday morning.
Hey, Danny, yeah, it's great to be with you. It's great to be sitting down with Matt Minder. He's from Decatur, Illinois. He's the founder. Are you a founder or co-founder? We're going with founder because Jody's not here.
Absolutely.
Matt is the founder of the Amateur Players Tour, and so we are delighted to have you with us. But we launched your 2025 schedule this past Friday, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Great time at Elevate Golf. What a great facility, first of all. I mean, growing up, practicing, I would give anything to have the opportunities that present itself here what a cool spot, the short game area we're sitting in right now. It's just phenomenal.
What made you choose to do your launch at Elevate? What was it about this place that said, yeah, that's where we need to be?
Yeah, well, we're excited. Obviously, Elevate's one of the premier, if not the premier, golf facility in the St. Louis area. It's a great new partnership for us in 2025. We're excited to roll some things out with them and welcome them as partners and really introduce our members to this great facility.
So, Matt, let's talk for the viewers that don't know, or for the listeners that don't know about Amateur Players Tour. You're the largest amateur tour in the United States right now. It's super cool. And tell us how you started. Tell us a little bit about what makes it special, because I'm going to start chiming in, because there's certain things for me that I got to play on the PGA Tour, which was the ultimate. And we can relate a lot of that. What made the PGA Tour so great is what makes the Amateur Players Tour so great as well.
Yeah, it's been a crazy ride. I mean, this is the start of year 7. We started right here in St. Louis, so this is the start of our 5th year nationwide, but our 7th year in St. Louis. And it started, my dad and I, as a side project. I grew up playing a lot of competitive golf, as we've talked about, being able to play a lot of elite amateur events across the country, and the experience you get and the camaraderie, the relationships, and really just wanted to create something that would give golfers of all ages and skill levels the ability to experience golf tournaments at an elite level.
This is the guy, Danny, just a little flashback, that said, I love playing mini tours, right?
You like that?
Absolutely.
You're the only one I've ever heard say that.
I've never heard anybody ever say that either.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a crazy grind, but it's really fun to travel with the same people every week, and the people you get to know, and the friendships forged, even though I've been out of it for years and years, still running across people, and, get a text occasionally from somebody, following each other on Facebook, and keeping in touch with everybody. Just lifelong friendships, and it was a great experience.
What made you want to do Amateur Players Tour? Why did this, happen for you? And you mentioned kind of a labor of love, but now it's your full-time gig. So what made you want to get into this and do it?
Yeah, it's interesting how it started. Like I said, it was a passion project for my dad and I to do something together, and we just fell in love with the relationships that we made here in St. Louis, and then the opportunity to grow nationally, and those relationships and just the community that's been built is really, really special. Rolling into our last couple of years with a partnership with Folds of Honor, we've raised over $180,000.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's so cool to see our members. We've recently started doing Folds of Honor Friday. We're the amateur partner for that, and we've had a couple really, really special Folds of Honor Friday events, the first being at our North American Championship this year before round 1. And it's, lifelong friendships from all over the country. It's like anywhere I go now, I'm hanging out with lifelong friends, and it's just a cool community to be a part of.
So, Matt, as we break down what the Amateur Players Tour is, it's you run over, how many events will you do in 25 this year?
Somewhere between 800 and 900.
It's incredible.
The country.
And so, folks, you got to understand there's different levels. There's a spot for everyone. So, Matt, we've got 5 different levels. And within those levels, you're going to be able to figure out a spot for you. And one of the things that is so cool about what you guys do is not that any of our members are going to say, something to show up with a bad handicap or anything, but you guys do a lot of vetting to make sure you get people in the right place to guarantee a really quality competition.
Yeah, definitely. We have a competition committee that we have some of our player members serve on, as well as our chapter owners. They meet every week. They monitor all of our handicaps across the board, which is cool. And we also have our own internal tournament index that measures your potential playing in tournament golf. So it's a little bit different, obviously, than the USGA handicap. It's all based on tournament scores only. And that really helps to make sure we can provide an equitable playing field for everybody and players of all skill levels. The biggest question we get is, I'm not good enough to play tournament golf. And if you can break 100, there's, even if you can break 110, there's a level for you on our tour, and it's a lot of fun.
Matt Bender is our guest. We're at Elevate Golf, and this past week, the launch of their schedule. So what are some of the highlights on that schedule, especially here locally?
And I got to say, you got a lot of work ahead of you because the schedule you guys released in 24 was amazing. It was really, really awesome.
Well, thank you. No, I'm excited. All of our fan favorites from last year are back. So the 36 hole at Norwood Hills that I know you had such a big part in getting, that's back again. We're going to be back at Persimmon Woods, and their greens are going to be new and better than ever. St. Clair Country Club, which is one of the hidden gem private clubs.
The host of Scramble.
That's right. The
new Amazon Prime series, right, Danny?
Scramble. You got to check it out. It's on Amazon Prime.
It was filmed at St. Clair Country Club by our buddies John JP and oh, gosh, I'm forgetting our producer. Gosh darn it. Anyway, I'm sorry. I want to say his name's Josh, and I'm probably wrong, but senior moment. It's okay. People are used to it now, Danny. Listen to me.
You're certainly loud. But, yeah, other private clubs, Lake Forest Country Club's one. A couple we can't name yet. We're finalized on you. You and I have a meeting coming up to work on a couple really great venues, but some great public tracks as well. Obviously, local finals are at Ambrier. We've got a big event there in the spring as well. Gateway National, Spencer T. Olin, Far Oaks. Just a lot of great places in St. Louis. And so you kind of get a little sprinkle of, the best public courses in the area, plus some great private venues as well. Matt
Mender is our guest from the Amateur Players Tour. So how many people here locally are playing on the tour? And do they play every week, or are they just kind of dropping in here and there? How does it work?
Yeah, that's a great question. And so we finished last year with 380 members locally. And so obviously not everybody's playing every event. Our events are usually between 120 and 144 players. We've got 18 events throughout the season. And so what's nice about membership is you can kind of pick and choose your schedule. So some people like to play more of the Monday events. Some people like to play the weekend events. And then some people like to play all of them. So it's very flexible. You can kind of pick and choose your schedule. And you can also play anywhere in the network that you'd like to do.
Okay, isn't it Josh? Josh was our man. I
thought it was Josh.
Yeah, we were. Yeah,
I know. I just wasn't going to interrupt you. You were on as you said, a senior moment.
Kind of a panic roll.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So, Matt, when we think about the different venues, you're also, if people have the desire, the wherewithal, or just even the game, they can travel. They can join Amateur Players Tour, and they can only play in this area if they want, or there's other cool options, and you're not limited to only great golf courses in and around the St. Louis and Missouri area.
No, not at all. I mean, you can play a lot of different local chapter events. For example, our Ohio chapter hosted an event at NCR Country Club that has hosted U.S. Senior Open. There's some great venues. Our national major schedule this year, just completely. I loved our 24 schedule. Our 25 schedule is killer. We've got an event at the Ocean Course at Kiowa. We just sold out our event, Torrey Pines South, in 30 minutes. We're going to Deep Sea Scottsdale, which, by the way, he always tells me he got a hole-in-one there.
Well, he's got how many? 18?
20. Who's counting?
But who's counting? And you don't have one in Norwood, your home course.
I've never made one at Norwood. I haven't played there enough, D.
You play like twice a day out there. I don't get it.
There's a plaque out at Phoenix that you're not going to be able to run from, man, and it's got my name on it. You just can't. It's there.
Oh, I'm sure we'll do some sort of selfie challenge when we're out there.
I know. There'll be something stupid. I can't wait. But so, Matt, the thing that impresses me the most about, look, I played a lot of amateur golf. Now I've played a lot of pro-ams. And Danny, you and I talk about this all the time. Danny McLaughlin, I've got to give him props for a lot of things.
Here we go.
But this is the most honest golfer I've ever met in my life. I'm not kidding you. I'm like, Danny, Just pick it up. He's like, nope, I'm not picking it up. If I
Give me
make
my
it,
9.
if I make it, I make it. If I miss it, I miss it. And,
Right.
and he goes through and he'll ask me, what's the right way to play this thing? Where do I, you do this all the time. You do. You want to know.
I want to know. I want to do it right.
And I'm telling you, I've never seen anybody that's better at that. But one of the things that's cool about the Amateur Players Tour is that that's what you guys are striving for. There's the rules of golf, and we adhere by the rules of golf. It's not like, oh yeah, just throw one down. It's not. We're not doing that. And there's prizes to give away. There's nice things to be won. There's some cash money to be won. And besides that, you've seen this camaraderie develop amongst your members that is super cool, and it's got to make you feel great.
Yeah, no, it's so much fun to see, people that set goals. I mean, one of the things that's common among all golfers is we all want to get better. We start this journey. Golf, I feel like, is the catch-all bucket for everybody that played other sports growing up. And golf's something you can play long beyond, your competitive. I grew up playing soccer and baseball, and I love it, but can't really play soccer and baseball anymore. But golf, I can compete and win. And what's cool about the Amateur Players Tour that leads to the camaraderie is everybody comes in with a goal to get better. And you get grouped with people that are similar skill level. You're competing against each other. You're having your side bets. You're having fun. You're sharing drinks in the 19th hole afterwards. But you're constantly on the grind trying to get better. And you have now a support system that encourages you upon the journey. And it's really fun on the local level. It gets more fun on the national level when you travel around and people you wouldn't have ever met and wouldn't get to know. And it's just a good time.
Danny and I talk about this all the time, Matt, and there's not a better example about golf being a uniter. It's a way. I mean, it's so weird. You can play golf 18 holes, 9 holes of golf with someone that you're thrown in your group, and you might develop a lifelong friendship with this guy. It just doesn't happen in a world today, which is marginally crazy. This is a one hell of a neat opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been such an honor. It's so much fun, and it's fun to be a part of. It's fun to watch the relationships develop, and it's really fun to see the competitions as well, and encourage everybody to get out and play. If you don't think you're going to play tournament golf, I promise you we have plenty of people at your skill level that you'll love getting to know. It's a great group of people.
How about the Folds of Honor element that you've introduced with your tour? What's happening there?
Yeah, we continue to grow with them. Obviously, Folds of Honor Fridays is a great outlet in the national schedule before our majors. We do Folds of Honor Friday 4-ball events, team events. Everybody wears red, white, and blue. For those that haven't been able to participate at Folds of Honor Friday, we have the national anthem before the tournament. Just raise a ton of awareness.
So cool.
Try to raise a ton of money. But one of the cool things about our tour and membership is we have a Folds of Honor partner membership, which is just your regular membership plus a $75 donation straight to Folds of Honor. And so we've got a goal in 2025. I've raised another $100,000 this year.
I can't believe how much money you guys have.
That's amazing.
That's just awesome.
Amazing.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you must feel proud about that. I mean, that's something that a lot of places can't lay claim to.
Yeah, it's an honor to watch, because when we started, and I think I've told you this before when I've come on the show, but we didn't pick a charity partner the first year we did it. Instead, Jody and I traveled the country, and we wanted to interact with our members and find out what mattered to them. And we have a huge veterans contingent in our tour. We have a love for the military on our tour, and with a love for the military, there's no greater organization to work with than Folds of Honor, and Lieutenant Colonel Dan Rooney and his vision and what they do is so powerful. And you look into a veteran's eyes when they see, I think Lieutenant Colonel Rooney said it best when he said that the greatest gift that you can tell a veteran when they're going off to war and they know they may have to pay the ultimate sacrifice is if something were to happen, if you're asked to give that, then we're going to have your back. And that's exactly what Folds of Honor does. And we're so privileged to be a part of it. And it's so cool to see our members rally around it and do such awesome things.
Matt, you mentioned the majors. Talk a little bit about the majors, and I don't think let's also develop the concept around some of the series, because the Golf with Jay Delsing show next year, we're going to put something together to kind of help tell the story.
Yeah, absolutely. The majors are a lot of fun, and so some are at bucket list venues, like we mentioned Kiowa, we mentioned Torrey Pines, you mentioned TPC Scottsdale. We're doing a 54-hole Memorial Day weekend at PGA National and down in Florida, which is going to be awesome. But we also do some majors at some great regional places like Ann Briar. We host a big event. We had 160 players last year. We're going down to Pine Dunes in Texas, which is a hidden gem. And so there's a lot of different majors at different budget levels. So you can get the experience without necessarily, obviously Kiowa is going to be at a higher price tag than an Ann Briar, just by nature.
Yeah.
But they're so cool to get in, and you meet so many different people. But yeah, the series, talking to St. Louis, looking forward to it. We'll have kind of a series within the season with the Golf with Jay Delsing show. Still working on at least one of the courses that'll be in the series, and we'll get it out, but it will be one you don't want to miss.
How do people sign up? How do they do this?
Yeah, so we've simplified the website since the last time. So it's just aptgolf.org. So aptgolf.org, and you can sign up. Membership is 365 days. It's $135 to join for a year, and you get $50 to spend in our pro shop, which is stocked with whatever you'd want. And you also get $50 from our presenting sponsor, Worldwide Golf, in the form of global cash to globalgolf.com. So we literally give you $100 in cash to spend right off the bat, and there's all kinds of other member benefits that you can get as well.
So Matt, when you start thinking about this, you're going to run an event at Kiowa, or you're going to run an event at Torrey South. You can't just roll over and get on those golf courses. They're not easy. And the fact that you can do this, and do you guys, are there any other differences with your majors compared to a regular tournament on the tour schedule that would differentiate something from being a major, or is it predominantly the golf course?
Predominantly the golf course. Jody and I personally run every single major. And so I'll be flying to Torrey, I'll be flying to Kiowa, to make sure, it's the tip top experience when you go to Kiowa. Let's get to Torrey Pines South. We were talking about it on our little podcast last night, and I was going through talking about Torrey, and like you get to walk where Tiger, we birdies 18 on one leg. He makes that right to left slider down the hill to force the playoff with Rocco. I mean, you get to play the same golf course, and just the history there. I mean, Kiowa, obviously, Mickelson won the PGA. You have the Warren the Shore, the Ryder Cup.
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, yep. I mean, it's such a cool opportunity to travel those grounds.
In terms of the turnout this last week at Elevate, your members were here, but we didn't have a chance to see it quite up close the entire night. What was the turnout like?
Yeah, no, it was great. Our members are excited to get to the 2025 season, and see the schedule for the first time. Getting to experience Elevate's a huge success. I can't say enough great things about their facility. We're sitting back here in the short game area, and I'm just looking. I'm so jealous.
Tell me this doesn't make you want to go hit bunker shots. I mean, we've got real sand, we've got undulation, we've got Danny. This just looks like a lot of gambling games wanting to be happening.
There's a ton of them out there. The real sand indoor.
I know. Super
that's
cool.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And I mean the 7 TrackMan base.
I know.
It's just unbelievably cool facility. Our members absolutely loved it. Love the new partnership with Elevate, and looking forward to bigger things in 2025.
Okay, so we're audio only, no video. We got to tell the listeners about your hat. We got a hat. We got a logo on here that's got a red. It looks like a Solo cup with a white flag sticking out of it and the year 2020 underneath it. What do we got going?
So we've had a little bit of fun and rolling out an alternate logo for the 2025 season to celebrate our 5th year of national expansion. So it's kind of a play off of, the classic country club that has a little symbol and like 1898. So something fun. And when we first started, we would sit on Facebook Live. Like, we weren't near as sophisticated as you guys are broadcasting. And we would run a Facebook Live. We'd introduce a new area every night. And I would say the word absolutely too much, and Jody would say excited too much. So we put together absolutely excited. And some of the people watching started a drinking game to figure out how many times we'd say it. That's literally the story. A little embarrassing. But we've kind of just, as people make fun of you, sometimes you got to lean into it. And so
have my whole life.
The Red Solo Cup is just kind of reminding us of really the beginning of when we're announcing all these chapters. We had all these ideas, and it's really for us, recommitting to the same ideas of what we started with, which is to be a players focused tour, to continue to listen to our members. And even though we've grown exponentially more than we ever thought was possible in the first 5 years, our original, mantra of being by the players for the players still rings true today. We still make time to listen to our players. We still make time to go visit, as an owner, visit our chapters and hear from our players and build relationships and ask what we can continue to do better to continue to make this thing great for
How many
our members.
chapters now?
47.
Wow. And what do they say to you? I mean, what are some of the things that they say, we love this, or we need to improve upon that?
Yeah, I mean, certainly always the biggest concern and the thing we've probably made the most changes to is our competition committee in dealing with the handicaps. I mean, in golf tournaments, if there's anything that plagues golf tournaments across the board, it's making sure that the playing field is fair. So we've continued to develop our rules as we go out in that, and you can certainly read about those on our website. I won't bore everyone with them, but we take a very serious commitment. Like we had somebody last week, won't even name the chapter, came in, shot 72 in their first event, Division 3, which is for 8.5 handicaps. Obviously, we DQ'd him, lied about his handicap, whatever. But the point is like, sometimes when you go to a scramble, if you don't lie about your handicap by like 5 shots, like you don't have a chance. Just don't do that when you join us, because when we say we have divisions for 3.5 to 8.4, they're literally 3.5 to 8.4, and we do a ton of work and we do a ton of homework, and it's a lot of long hours to make sure that the integrity. That's number one. The second thing is people love, obviously, the partnership with Folds, the commitment to give back with Folds of Honor. That's huge. But also, third, the opportunity to belong to something. The friendships and the community. To me, I think that's the differentiating of our brand against any of our competitors. We're all in to grow the game of golf. Let's be honest. But what makes APT special and unique is the community of people. And that's intentional on our part.
Okay, so you got to tell me, what's the white flag of surrender sticking out of the Solo Cup for?
You're funny. No, it's just you would go there, wouldn't you?
Yes.
But no, it's just to be there. A lot of it's just of celebrating accomplishing our goals.
Love it.
All right.
Love it.
I can take that answer.
Yeah, okay.
That works.
I have a feeling that's not exactly the... Yeah, okay.
Maybe so.
Yeah, maybe it is. Yeah.
So one final time, best way to sign up, and obviously the launch about a week ago was great. So tell us again some of the courses and best way to sign up.
Yeah, absolutely. We play a lot of the privates in St. Louis, Norwood Hills, Lake Forest, St. Clair, Persimmon Woods, Annbriar, Gateway National, Spencer T, Olin, Far Oaks, just a few of the highlights. We have about 18 events in St. Louis. But the easiest way to sign up is go to aptgolf.org. So aptgolf.org.
All right, buddy. Great to see you. Thanks for coming out to Elevate again.
Absolutely. Thanks
Keep
for having
doing
me.
your thing, Matt.
That's Matt Minder from Amateur Players Tour, and you're listening to Golf with Jay Delsing live from Elevate Golf.
I am delighted to welcome Folds of Honor to the Golf with Jay Delsing show. Lieutenant Colonel Dan Rooney and his team donate 91% of all funds directly to these scholarships. And oh, by the way, to date, 52,000 of these life-changing scholarships have been awarded since 2007. 45% of those 52,000 scholarships have been awarded to minority recipients. So join the Folds of Honor team today and donate at foldsofhonor.com.
Hi, this is Adam Best from Family Golf and Learning Center. At FGLC here in Kirkwood, we feature a double-decker driving range, 2 large grass tees with Tahoma Bermuda grass. You want to work on your short game? We have a short game area too, which features a 20,000 square foot green, 3 bunkers, and Zoysia surrounds. Also at Family Golf and Learning Center, don't forget about our 9-hole par 3 course, the indoor TrackMan simulators, and our performance center. If you're looking for the best golf instruction, regardless of skill, we can help. Find out more at FamilyGolfOnline.com. That's FamilyGolfOnline.com. Family Golf and Learning Center. We make St. Louis better at golf.
So you've been hearing me talk about one of our community's greatest contributors and most philanthropically inclined companies. Yes, of course, I'm talking about Marcone. They're the largest distributor of General Electric appliance parts in North America. Did you know that Marcone is also the largest and most trusted supplier of commercial and residential appliance parts HVAC, plumbing, commercial kitchens, and pools and spas. All of that's in North America as well. That's right, Marcone does all that. Marcone is committed to supporting our first responders, all the branches of service in our military, our police and firefighters, and many more. From the viewing deck at the Ascension Charity Classic, founded in honor of our military heroes, to their commitment to Wreaths Across America program, Marcone is here for you and your family as well as your community. That's Marcone, the official sponsor of the Golf with Jay Delsing show. Hey folks, we just opened the Jay Delsing Golf Shop. If you need anything golf related, you need a hoodie, you need a visor, you need a quarter zip. My daughter Gemma has spearheaded this effort and I so appreciate all of her help. But we are live and we are ready to get you into some golf gear. Folks, know this, with every single purchase, I will be donating either to the Western Golf Association in support of the Evans Scholarship Program or to Folds of Honor and the great Lieutenant Colonel Dan Rooney. So everything that you buy from me, we're going to make a donation to those great causes. Thanks for checking it out. It's jdelsinggolfshop.com. Recently, my nephew called me and said his basement had flooded and all the hardwood, carpet, and flooring had to be replaced. I told him I have the perfect place for you to go. At Jerseyville Flooring and Furniture, this second-generation family-owned business treats everyone just like their family. Jared Capps is continuing his mom and dad's 50-year business tradition where honesty, transparency, and service carry the day. My nephew loved the luxury vinyl product. Jerseyville Flooring and Furniture has the largest selection in the area. Whether you prefer Mohawk and the wide variety of their product lines, I love the Rev Wood product, by the way, or Karastan or Pergo Elements line, Jerseyville Flooring and Furniture will literally have you covered. You have pets? Let Jared tell you about the many sustainable flooring and carpet options that are pet-friendly but also easily maintained to keep your floors looking great every day. And don't forget about their huge selection of Lazy Boy recliners. They are awesome and one of the biggest selections in the Midwest. Call them today at 618-936-0536 and get your free estimate or set up a consultation with one of their experts. You can also go to jerseyvillecarpetandfurniture.net. Proud sponsor of Golf with Jay Delsing.
We're back at Elevate Golf on this Sunday morning. The Car Shield Studios have made it on the road. With Jay Delsing, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Our thanks to Matt Binder, who heads up the Amateur Players Tour. Make sure and sign up. Get yourself ready for the summer event. Really, it starts in spring.
It really does.
They start pretty early with these events.
These are hardy boys now, and men and women. There's a lot of women that play too. Danny, they're hardy. They play, we're March. And I'm like, I don't know about that for me. I know I am not that hardy. But I think one of the things that's super cool, D, about this is a level of competition that I don't think most amateurs have seen. And what I mean by that is not necessarily great players. But you're upheld to a standard of golf that is super, super high, meaning you're going to play by the rules. And you're not
gimmies.
No, and you're also not going to go, well, my handicap is kinda. Like, no, your handicap is a number.
Right.
And like Matt was saying that I thought was so cool, it's like 3.4 today. This is, you're in or you're out, so if you're not in the first level, you're in the second level.
Yeah. I think it's interesting, too, because if you go out with your buddies, you're going to play on a weekend, and we're Saturday at Norwood, and I'm 2 feet away, and Jay says, pick it up.
Yeah.
All the time. That's the way it happens.
Yep.
Now, if I tell you to pick it up, it's about an 8-footer.
Yeah.
That's a gimme.
I love it.
8 to 10 feet for
I've
you
been
is
in
a
the Hall
gimme,
of Fame
man.
if I got those 8-footers down, man.
But it's amazing when you're playing competition and competitive golf, and this is competitive because there's stuff on the line.
Yeah.
They don't pick up the 2-footers.
No.
And that teaches you a lesson. I mean, and that'll teach you a real handicap, too, starting to roll in the 2-foot putts.
100%,
or miss
Danny.
them.
100%, Danny. And it's why tournament golf is so special. It is really, really difficult. When it's your turn to putt and you've got this, say, 18 inch or something, there's a lot of weird stuff that runs through your head. Like you're like, well, why am I putting this? I don't know. When I play with my friends, I don't have to putt, and all of a sudden you're like, I got to putt this thing.
Exactly.
So you remember when I was doing the prep for this last year's Ascension Charity Classic, I remember telling him, like, I'm putting everything out now. And it's just different. And I started doing the clock drill with working again on my short putts, because you just don't want that to be the thing that upends your tournament. For some, when I was playing, Danny, I was about 90 over the course of a full year, which would have been 30 tournaments. I was about 97, almost 98% on my 3-footers.
Is that right?
But I missed some, but I had a whole hell of a lot of them. And so, but everyone misses one here and there. Tiger Woods, everybody misses them. And so it's just one of those things where you've got to just keep working, and you've got to keep staying on that so that you get comfortable with it. It's really more about that habit.
So we know that guys on tour keep their own numbers, and the tour now is breaking down numbers, meaning inside 5 feet, inside 10 feet, so on and so forth. Back, though, when you were playing, that had to be off the top of the mind, right, of what you would remember about, I missed this 2-footer in Memphis, and that was 4 weeks ago, and I haven't missed one since.
Right. So, Danny, we started keeping stats, but it wasn't nearly as specific when I played. And the stats were like greens in regulation, driving distance, fairways hit. And so I broke mine down even further. Like, I would take my putts.
You were ahead of the analytics game then.
I was. Well, I wanted to know. So, Danny, one of the things that I found out about my game, that if I was hitting an iron shot from the fairway, I hit the green 80% of the time.
Wow.
Right at 80%. It was like 79.9% of the time.
And it didn't matter how far it was.
It didn't matter. It didn't stipulate whether it's a 4-iron or whether it was interesting. And so when I started breaking that down, it was, and consequently, when I hit more fairways, a lot of my putting stats were very skewed, because it was like, wait a minute, why did I have 34 putts today? Well, I hit a ton of greens, but I wasn't close to the hole. And it makes, and this is where statistics can get really misleading, because it makes it look like you're putting poorly. But I'm putting from 40 feet all day long.
Right.
Everybody's going to, and you're bound to 3-putt one of those. Okay, you roll one of them in, you 3-putt one, and all of a sudden, you're looking at a lot of putts and a skewed number. And that's where you have to be able to go, hey, look at, I putted fine today. I had very few makeable opportunities. When I did, I made them. When I didn't, I was putting from distance all day.
I wonder, and both of us love the game of baseball, and I think there is a place for analytics. I think there's a place for analytics in every sport. Hockey has analytics.
Yeah.
Basketball's got it.
Yeah.
Every sport now has analytics. However, I think in a game like golf, where so much of it is mental, that the analytics can really hurt a player. And I know there's some people that are driving or listening to our show saying, no, that's crazy. Don't say that, because it's going to tell the story. I understand that. But, man, you start thinking like how you were just thinking, I'm hitting 80% of the greens, but I'm 40 feet away. Well, I need to do this differently or do that differently. I just think sometimes it gets too much info between the ears.
Well, Dan, a lot depends on your personality, because some personalities can really absorb this and really benefit. A guy like me, it was dangerous for me, and I knew. One of the other things, Danny, that I did all the time was when I was playing, I had to commit to not thinking about any of that stuff, because I'd sit there and think about it, and then I'd be like, wait a minute, man, I'm trying to figure out a way to get the ball in the hole.
Right.
I don't need to be thinking about this, and it would jack me up, and so I was like, okay, so I actually had to commit to, the night after like a second round, hopefully I made the cut, I did my statistics for the day, and then part of my prep the next day was leave the statistics at home. It doesn't matter. Like if I hit a bunker, hit a shot out and had a 5-footer out of the bunker to make a par or birdie to get my sand save conversion, I'd think about my percentage, and it would screw me up.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't make the putt. So you're 100% right. Depending on your mental perspective and your personality, some guys can't get enough of it, and they feed off it. But one of the things you said that is so interesting is they don't tell a complete story.
They
ever.
don't.
Ever, ever. They tell a partial story. It's compelling and it's cool, but it doesn't tell the whole thing. And you see it especially, Danny, in baseball. When Kevin Cash took out Blake Snell in the World Series against was it the Dodgers?
Dodgers in 2020.
I just couldn't believe it. He was absolutely unhittable. He took him out because the analytics say third time through the order is dangerous for starting pitchers. And so he took him out, and he was unhittable. They wound up losing the game 3-2 or 3-1 or something. And had he left him in, they'd have won. They'd have been lights out.
So it's the human element, I think, that we're getting into, because Jay could be playing in round 3 of his weekend, and you know what? On the night of day 2, had a bad day at home.
Yep.
Maybe ate some bad food.
Yep.
Got a bad phone call.
Yep.
Something that maybe got something great.
Yep.
And took his mind off the game. It cannot measure heart, guts, in your mind. And that's one of the things that really bothers me about it. It tells a great story, don't get me wrong, but it cannot be the complete story.
No, and you're 100% right, and that is where this thing gets so weird. And it's like, I don't care what the statistics say. Can you do it when you need it?
Yeah.
And the answer is yes, maybe, or sometimes.
Right.
And because nobody has been fail-safe at it. I don't care what the statistics say. And I think they make for kind of compelling conversations, D. But if you're going to base the entire day on that, I don't think you're gonna like the outcome.
Would you like analytics now, as advanced as they are? Like you said, you were at kind of the
touch and
forefront
field.
of it.
Yep.
You know,
I know how to use them better.
Yeah.
So yes, I would. I was one of those guys, Danny, that I didn't until. Man, I was one of the later guys to buy into the equipment revolution. I was one of the last to get off the wooden driver, and I got into the metal-headed drivers. But I also was realizing that this technology was coming so fast and changing so frequently, and I was like, how do we keep up? And I realized, I'm like, dude, you have got to devote us X amount of time to trying this new club, especially drivers at the time, D, because the Big Bertha had just come out and everybody was trying it. And I'm like, you just commit to doing it. Take 30 minutes each week, and they kept tweaking it, D, and they'd say, now this is better for you. Now this is better for you. And then finally I'm like, holy cow, this is better for me.
Sure.
But you know what's interesting, D? It wasn't initially. It wasn't for the way my game was set up at the time. It was not better initially for me.
I can't believe what I'm hearing from you on. I'm being serious.
Yeah.
You're looking at me like I'm crazy. We're at Elevate Golf, by the way, on this Sunday morning, and we've visited with Matt Mender already, and we've got Brad Henderson from SSM coming up. We'll have a guest from Elevate here, but I can't believe that you actually were not on board, I guess is the right way to say it, maybe with the metal-headed driver, as well as you hit the ball and knowing that you could hit it even further, because guys are telling you that.
It didn't work. I know they told me that, but it didn't work out. Whenever I try the driver, it wasn't fit for me right. It wasn't fit for me right. And then once it became, I was like, oh.
What's the matter with you? It's a metal-headed driver.
I know. It made no sense at all. Plus, I was incredibly long, and unfortunately, I was peeling stuff back to try to figure out a way to get the ball in play.
Now, that makes sense.
And everybody else was. Danny, I cut my driver down from 44.5 inches to 43.
Wow.
It was a half an inch longer than my 3-wood because I could hit more fairways.
It's amazing.
I was losing distance, but I didn't care. And then you talk to a guy like Scott Fawcett, who's like the master of all these data points for golf, and he's like, dude,
blast it.
You did it exactly 100% the wrong way. And I'm like, of course I did. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. It's just crazy. But I think it's very interesting, and I think you see these other sports, in the NFL, Danny, everybody's like, we're always going for a fourth down if it's under 3. I'm like, no.
Sometimes let's take the points. Let's do different things.
Take the points, man. You're wiping this team out, and you're going to go up by 17
that's because
or something.
we want to see the points.
Well,
on
there's a little action. Maybe there's a bet or two. I don't know. Maybe yes.
Take the points.
Take the points. We need the points. Let's go.
That's Jay. I'm Dan. We're coming to you from Elevate Golf on this Sunday morning. Should be a lot of fun. We got Brad Henderson coming up from SSM Healthcare. We'll also talk it over with some of the folks here at Elevate, and hope you're enjoying it. It's Golf with Jay Delsing, presented by Daugherty Business Solutions.
Do you remember the golden rule? I'm sure you do, but just in case, it goes like this. Treat people the way that you'd like to be treated. At People's National Bank, that one statement is the cornerstone of what this bank is all about. Locally owned, with 23 locations in Southern Illinois and the metropolitan St. Louis area, People's National Bank parlays a robust menu of commercial or personal banking services you could possibly need with a friendly yet hardworking Midwestern attitude. Maybe you just want to do business with a bank whose entire team lives in the same neighborhoods as we do. If you're like me and doing business with someone you trust is important to you, then People's National Bank is the bank for you. Jason Rantham, local president, is here for you to call, and he'll answer any questions you may have. His personal cell is 314-974-2243. You can also find us online at peoplesnationalbank.com. People's National Bank is here for all of your banking needs.
This is Adam Betts from Family Golf and Learning Center located in Kirkwood. Our motto is play your best golf. We have the best instruction for every skill level. 2 female instructors along with our 8 PGA instructors. We're there for the kids and the adults who are starting to play and trying to refine their game. Family Golf and Learning Center features a double-decker driving range, grass tees, and a short game area, along with indoor simulators and a performance center. That's not all. Don't forget about our back 9 bar and grill. Find out how we can help you and your family. Head to familygolfonline.com. That's familygolfonline.com. It's Family Golf and Learning Center, where we make St. Louis better at golf.
A professional golfer, as you watch on TV every Sunday afternoon, never ventures onto the course without his trusted caddy. This was true for me for my entire career. I want you to think of Powers Insurance as your insurance caddy that you never had. Just as my golf caddy helped me to assess risk on the golf course, Powers Insurance can do the same for you in your busy and complicated life. Tim Davis, COO at Powers Insurance, did exactly that for me and saved me over 50% on one of my coverages. A good insurance risk advisor can help you know when to take a chance or when it may be smarter to take a little more club. Give the folks at Powers Insurance a call and get a caddy for all of your insurance needs. Call them at 314-725-1414. That's 314-725-1414. That's Powers Insurance.
For the best in Italian cuisine in St. Louis, look no further than Paul Manno's, located in Chesterfield. It's traditional Italian cooking, and their best ingredient, it's their tradition. It's cooking like Paul's grandmother used to make and like his mother still prepares today. There are no corners cut at Paul Manno's. From greeting you at the door to the pasta you'll share with your family, Paul Manno's is committed to bringing you their very best anytime you share a meal at their place. It's Paul Manno's, located in Chesterfield.
Hey, Jay Delsing here, and I know I speak for all of we golfers. We're always looking to try to improve our game. For me, that means I go to one place, and that one place is Pro-Am Golf in Brentwood. Tom DeGrand opened his family business in 1975 with a goal of providing St. Louis with the finest in golf equipment, instruction, and technology. Whether you need a new rangefinder, your first set of clubs, or anything else you can think of, Pro-Am Golf has just what you're looking for. If you're a scratch handicap or you carry a 20 handicap, come visit Pro-Am Golf and inquire about a lesson from Tom DeGrand. He's been fixing golf swings and making St. Louis better at golf for over 40 years. Go get your gear, lessons, or anything golf related where I go, and that's Pro-Am Golf in Brentwood. You can also visit them online at Pro-Am Golf USA. That's ProAmGolfUSA.com. It's Pro-Am Golf, proud sponsor of the Golf with Jay Delsing show.
Welcome back. This is Golf with Jay Delsing on a Sunday morning as we come to you from Elevate Golf, the CarShield Studios. As always, we're presented by Darty Business Solutions. And with Jay Delsing, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Our thanks already to Matt Minder, who has stopped on by from the Amateur Players Tour. And now we have from Elevate Golf, Zach Conlin, managing partner of Elevate. And Zach, great to see you, and thanks for having us out on this Sunday morning.
Yeah, thanks for coming, guys. I'm happy to be on the show.
Zach, I got to tell you, I walk in here and I just want to smile. We're sitting back here in the short game area. We've got live bunker, real sand. It just makes you want to get your clubs out and start hitting shots.
Yeah, the lob shot over the bunker is probably the most fun one in here. It's not the easiest shot around.
So is it tough to keep the sand trap going on an indoor facility? It's real sand.
It is real sand. We clean it every day, push brooming it back in there, getting it ready so it looks presentable for everybody else.
So, Zach, where the weather's changing, what's happening now at Elevate? What we got a lot to talk about, but what's on the forefront of your mind?
Yeah, so here at Elevate right now, obviously training is still a big push of ours and what we're doing, and people that want to go through like big swing chains and things like that, now's the time to do it when they're not on the golf course every day, where we really want to dive into golf swing and have some time to work things out. Also, high school boys season will be, right at the end of the winter, and they need to get ready, and this is the time to do it for them.
What is Elevate Elite? We've heard about that, but tell us what Elevate Elite is all about.
So Elevate Elite is our junior program. It consists of 5 levels. We start at age 3, and we go all the way up through until they're out of high school. It's a pathway for all juniors to get better at golf. So we start in clinic form with game-based learning. We call that our learn to hit stage, and we move up to learn to play, where they get on a golf course, they play in scramble formats, and then we go to match play, and then once they hit the match play stage, they start getting into individualized training more. And then our top 2 teams are more like what you've seen in other sports is club sports. So we have club golf teams. They'll play tournaments together, be wearing Elevate gear, showing up to tournaments, and then training individually and as a team practice.
Zach, that is so exciting to me. So I had 4 daughters. I couldn't convince them to play much golf. They played a lot of that select volleyball, so we were traveling and all that. But I love the idea of a team concept, especially for the younger kids. The success with PGA Junior League is not lost on Danny and I on the show. We love what that has done, but this is taking it and tweaking it, not unlike what you guys do at Elevate with the other stuff, and just kind of making it more interesting and a little better.
Yeah, the thing about practicing for golf or for any sport is it's tough when you have to do it on your own. And, we can provide coaching and the tools for people to succeed, but having other athletes with similar goals that you should get to be around on a daily basis is really important. So I always tell people I got good at golf on accident. I worked at a golf course. My buddies played golf. I played golf with them. We practiced together. But we went to the range and we hit balls under the lights, and we were playing golf every day. And then all of a sudden I knew how to do it. I never felt like I went and had to go grind and put in time on the range by myself and, I need to go practice today or anything like that. I just surrounded myself with people that had similar goals and you can accomplish a lot from that.
How big is Elevate? So how much square footage? What happens when you walk through the door? What are you going to see? Just give us a little brief overview.
The angels go off when
exactly.
you walk in. You see all the TrackMan bays.
It's unbelievable, man.
So it's about 10,000 square feet. We have 7 TrackMan bays. As soon as you walk in, you see those, and then the 3,000 square foot short game area, 2 greens, a bunker, a gym. Our Dr. Tyler, our physical therapist, does our golf assessments for fitness and mobility, and then gives them workout programs. And then we do leagues and stuff like that. So we have a fully functioning bar. We have leagues at night and simulator rentals and stuff like that on the weekends as well.
So it's super cool when so are you guys doing the sim leagues now? Zach, is that what's going on?
Yes, we have 2 leagues running now. We have 2 more about to start in December. And then, weekends we provide tournaments. So we do 2-person scrambles. We'll have we have a Black Friday tournament coming up. And then we'll do something pretty much every month as far as a 2-person scramble league, and then open play as well.
So it's interesting, Dee, because you and I know, Zach obviously knows, but for folks that don't know about what a simulator is, you're basically hitting your ball into a screen while using this TrackMan thing that is a data collector. It measures speed, it measures spin, it measures your path, it measures, there's 30-something different data points that come out of here.
Yeah.
But Zach, one of the cool things that I saw when I was coming into Elevate, you guys are having this Black Friday tournament on Bethpage Black, the golf course, when a lot of people don't understand. You could go play Pebble Beach in these things. And what's really cool is in the last 5 years in particular, the graphics and stuff have gotten so much better.
Yeah, the TrackMan actually came out with a kind of a fun fact not that long ago that more of their shots are actually recorded inside versus outside. This machine was developed for outdoor on a range, and how it's pivoted into indoor use, and their software goes to show it now. All the updates and everything is all more shaped around indoor golf and more video game aspects, and very user friendly. You come in, like, it doesn't take a lot to know how to work the machine. Big tiles to select, and different formats you can play in all these different golf courses. So whether you're using it for training or fun, it's just super easy to use and gives you tons of information.
There's a lot of parents that are listening right now, and they may have little Susie, little Johnny. They're 5, 6 years old, and they put a club in their hands, and they start whacking the golf ball, and they see, hey, they've got an interest in the game of golf. What happens with those kids and those families when they walk through the doors here?
Yeah, so we kind of trick them to learning golf at that age. So we'll put them in a bay. There's games on there. They hit a golf ball and they'll find a creature, or like a animal will pop out, or they can knock down bowling pins, and there's just a bunch of different games they can play. So they're immersed in like almost like a video game, but they're swinging a golf club, hitting a golf ball, and they're learning golf, like I said, like doing it on accident almost.
Oh my gosh, that's fun to know. And Zach, I was thinking about a question I want to ask you about Tyler in a second, but what is an age that's too early? Like what's the beginning age that you can bring your son or daughter up here?
So we start at age 3.
Oh my gosh!
At that age, we'll have no more than like 3 kids with a coach. So we make sure that we have proper supervision and things like that. And at that age, we're just playing a lot of games and introduce them to like different elements. They'll use different clubs. They'll learn to putt and chip and swing a driver and an iron. But it's all in like kind of game-based learning.
That's super cool.
Oh, I love it. How did this all start? Who is the mastermind behind this and said, let's do this. This is something that's cool for golf, cool for the community, and obviously great for families and kids.
So I had a vision, but the team here has made it so much more than that. And the things they've done with as far as whether it's the junior program or what the day-to-day training looks like and how it's evolved and how we've incorporated fitness into it and things like that. There's things I couldn't have imagined to do on my own, just putting myself around people that have better skills than me in certain areas and putting experts in each area. It just makes it more well-rounded, and we can cover kind of every base.
That's super cool, Zach. So what was your vision? Like, was it based around a TrackMan and based more around kind of a data-driven approach?
So I always love data. I'm a numbers person, but the vision was more about tracking practice. So I've been giving golf lessons for years, and it was more about I want to know what's going on in between the golf lesson. So that's what this place kind of started off of, is how do I see someone every day rather than every month? And that way I know they're getting better, and I know that they're practicing the right way. That's why this place was built.
Zach Conlin is our guest, managing partner at Elevate Golf. That's where we're at on this Sunday morning. And I want to ask you a little bit about the team aspect of this, too, in terms of people coming in on a Friday night, playing in a sim league. How does that all work? How many guys can you have on a team? Just, broad base, the nuts and bolts of a sim league.
Yeah, so our leagues, we have 7 TrackMans, so if we put 4 in a bay, we can have 28 people play at a time. Most of our leagues are 2-person team leagues, so whether it's a best ball or a scramble, we do usually team formats. And then you can have subs and things like that, and we run like 12 to 16 week leagues.
Zach, I love the idea of Elevate, and it's really taken off. Is there any sort of, do you have a crystal ball that says we may go ahead and scale this thing? We may have another location. Is that a possibility for you guys?
So we're always thinking about what's next, whether it's, getting kids more outside to play and taking our training indoor and outdoor. So we don't feel like we're limited to these walls. So whether it's scaling as far as making the junior programs bigger and getting range time and course time so that these kids can get outside a little bit too, but being around their coaches and being around the people that they can practice with.
What does a membership get you? What you buy the membership, and is it monthly? Is it 6 months? Is it a year? How does this all work?
Yeah, so membership we run on like a 6-month basis, so it's a 6-month commitment. That's the minimum time we think that it takes to kind of dive in and learn the aspects that we want you to learn and make sure that you get moving properly and things like that. But that membership gets you the fitness assessment. It gets you a golf assessment. It gets you the practice program for golf and the fitness workouts. And then it gets you coaching every day, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, for an hour and a half. So you come in, you do 30 minutes in a simulator bay, 30 minutes in the short game area, and 30 minutes of fitness work every day that you want to within Monday to Friday. So it ends up being like, we know how much golf lesson can be and things like that. It ends up costing somebody like $9 an hour to train.
That's amazing. So when you think about that, it's staggering and kind of blows your mind. One of the things that I think is super cool about Elevate is you've got this full service gym. And I think Danny and I hear this all the time, Zach, where people are like, what can I do? I don't want to take another step back this winter. I live in a cold weather city and I don't get to play any golf. I'm not outside. It's amazing how much your body can sustain or even improve. Zach, just by being flexible, how much it can help your strength.
Yeah, so I've seen in our gym, like with whether it could be a high school athlete, could be an older player, but we track growth. So when we're doing fitness assessments, we're not just giving you pass fails. We're actually measuring, okay, you're supposed to turn 45 degrees, you're only turning 22 degrees. It's not just a fail, it's you're at 22 degrees, and then the next week you might be at 30. So like we want to know that you're growing. We want to say, oh, you're just still failing that. We want to be able to track that growth and make sure we're moving in the right direction. Because if we aren't, then we know we need to change what we're doing.
Zach, and I think one of the things that is so cool is that if you don't start and know where you're starting from, how in the hell do you track your progress? I mean, unless it's blaringly obvious, you don't know.
The assessment process is really what our training can be built off of, so that we know if whether it's golf and like what areas of your game you need improvement on, or if it's fitness and hey, you can't do these things in these certain areas of the game because you can't move this way or you're not strong enough to do this.
How about give me a great success story? You got one off the top of your mind of a guy, gal, kid came in here, whatever, and all of a sudden it just completely changed their game?
I mean, my mind goes everywhere because it happens every day. It's crazy to see how much people improve just with consistent practice and a nice pathway of to what they should be doing. But you take a 30 handicapper from a 20 handicapper. That's not crazy hard to do in my mind with just a little bit of practice. But we've seen 3 handicaps go to +4 handicaps, and 10s down to 5s. It's just incredible to see that we're seeing big gains even on the better end of the game, where it's actually harder to grow. The gains are smaller, and it takes more and more work to get better.
Yeah, those levels are difficult to those hurdles are much harder as your handicap lowers a lot. Well, Zach, how can people get involved in you take you can take, as you just said, a 2 or 3 handicap and help them. You can also take a 30 and help them. So this is for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, you could come in here without ever touching a golf club, and we're going to find a program that's right for you. If you're not, into maybe training out of the gate, it's how do we just make golf fun and make it something we want to do. Whether it's just I just rent a bay so I can play a game and learn to see if is golf even something I like, or is it I want to sign up for a training membership so I can take golf seriously, and what it really doesn't matter what your skill level is. Even if we have a very good player, we're going to be able to take them and give them the proper coaching that we can dive into maybe more numbers-based stuff, so we can see fine movements and that we can see those little growths and make everything really efficient.
What's the best way to find out about Elevate Golf and sign up?
So the best thing to do is go to our website, elv8golf.com. There's an inquiry form on there. The
so
number
say
8
it again.
ELV, the number 8,
Yep.
golf.com. And then on there's an inquiry form. You fill that out. We'll get back to you right away and try to figure out what option's best for you.
Awesome. Thanks
Super
for doing
cool,
this.
Zach.
Yeah.
Thanks for jumping on
guys.
with us.
You got it. That's Zach Conlin, managing partner of Elevate Golf. We'll talk about some healthy solutions in the off-season for your body, all those golfers out there, with our buddy. Should be interesting. Brad Henderson from SSM Healthcare is coming up
Always
on Golf
fun with the cat.
It is on Golf with Jay Delsing.
Hey, this is Jay Delsing for SSM Health Physical Therapy. Our golf program has the same screening techniques and technology as the pros on the PGA Tour use. SSM Health Physical Therapy has the Titleist Performance Institute trained physical therapists that can perform the TPI screening on you, as well as use the K-Vest 3D motion capture system. Proper posture, alignment, etc. can help you keep your game right down the middle. We have 80 locations in the St. Louis area. Call 800-518-1626 or visit them on the web at ssmphysicaltherapy.com. Your therapy, our passion.
Welcome to the Corn Dunes Golf Course.
I would like to welcome you all to the Corn Dunes Qualifier. The winner of today's tournament will get an automatic bid in the big banana.
There's the anglers.
I'm from the great state of Oklahoma, oil man by trade, lover by persistence, and golfer by anointment.
The metal irons. Real golf wives.
What are you doing?
The wind's picking up.
Are you going to go down a club?
I don't know, but this breeze feels amazing on my Botox.
Denzel Washington.
We've all seen you putt. I don't need that black magic voodoo nonsense that's in your putter to affect my putters.
Jesus Chips.
There's two things I love. It's golf and the Lord. So let's get to blessing.
Johnny Longo and the Pindicate.
The prize money, 10 times that of any other scramble tournament. I mean, it's like the live tour of scramble tournaments.
Scramble, the first golf comedy TV series ever.
Now available on Amazon Prime Video.
Are you driving an out-of-warranty car? It's only a matter of time before your out-of-warranty vehicle is in the shop costing you thousands of dollars. Auto repair costs are up nearly 20% from last year, which is 4 times the rate of inflation. If an unexpected breakdown happened today, would you be ready for that? Well, now you can be with a plan through CarShield. Even if your car is just over 3 years old, it's still prone to expensive costs. Your car is more than just getting you from point A to point B. Traveling by car is a way of life. From picking up your kids to going to a new restaurant, cars are a daily essential. When you enroll in a car protection plan through CarShield, you can look forward to the following. The price will never go up no matter how many claims you file, or no matter how high the mileage on your car increases. CarShield offers protection plans that start as low as $100 per month. That's $100 per month. They have repair coverage for up to 5,000 different parts of your vehicle. Plus, when your car breaks down and you're stuck on the side of the road, you get 24/7 coast-to-coast roadside assistance. You also get complimentary towing and rental car options. CarShield has my back when my car breaks down, and they can have yours too. Call CarShield today at 800-465-6550 or visit carshield.com. It's CarShield, proud sponsor of the Golf with Jay Delsing show.
This is Jim Hackenberg, founder of Orange Whip and Orange Whip Training. You're listening to Golf with Jay Delsing.
Daugherty Business Solutions has been enhancing the business of our customers for the last 37 years. How do we do it? Through our expertise in technology, better use of data and analytics, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. We roll up our sleeves and collaborate. We build applications and effectively communicate with our partner clients to bring their goals and objectives to the finish line. Our award-winning Access Point program is a community game changer. With nearly 100 students in the program, mostly young African-American females are making between $55,000 and $60,000 per year right out of high school. That's right, $55,000 to $60,000 a year right after high school graduation. That's when they begin their training. CEO Ron Daugherty believes the talent is equally distributed, but access to that opportunity is not. So here's Access Point, providing more and more opportunity for those in and around our community. It's Daugherty Business Solutions.
Back at Elevate Golf on this Sunday morning with Jay Delsing. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Our thanks to Zach Conlin. You just heard from him, managing partner of Elevate Golf, and also Matt Mender, who runs the Amateur Players Tour, and also joining us now, Brad Henderson from SSM Healthcare, and it's always great to visit with you, Brad. You better get some people ready to hit golf balls in the winter. It's not an easy thing to do.
That's right, Danny and Jay. It's great to see you guys again, and always a treat to get to catch up with you all. So, but as Danny, as you mentioned, this is a great time of the year to to get ready for the upcoming golf season and to kind of fix whatever's been bothering you and look forward to the next season.
Cap, give us some of your background. I mean, I'm going to chop it up. Tell us about your MLB career and what you're doing now for SSM.
Okay. Well, I moved to St. Louis in 1977. Went to Lafayette High School. Went to Missouri, and very fortunate to get to work with the football and baseball teams out there for a number of years. During the summer times, I worked for the St. Louis football Cardinals way back in the day, 82, 83, and 84, and the great people that I was with there, John O'Mahundro and Jim Machine Shearer was the assistant, and they both had a huge impact on my career and that kind of thing. And then graduated, got a job with the Cardinals in the minor league, spent 3 years in the system, Johnson City, St. Pete, and then Little Rock, Arkansas. Got called up to the big leagues in 1988 with Gene Gieselman, and was here for 15 years, and then went to Pittsburgh and was the head trainer over there for 9 before I was told that thank you very much, we'll see you later.
What do you see in this time of year with golfers, those that play a lot, and all of a sudden it's too cold to play outside and they've got nagging injuries? What are those injuries that you typically see with golfers?
Well, probably most common is the low back stuff, and again, guys that probably need to work on their core a little bit, probably need to work on their flexibility a little bit, have created some bad habits along the way, and now's the time to kind of unwind some of these people, as we used to talk about in baseball. So most of the time in my previous career, our right-handed throwers were right-handed hitters. So as what I refer to as we had nothing but left rotation. So during the wintertime, we really needed to unwind these guys and have them go the other way, kind of working the other direction. So I think what the golfers, really getting a good evaluation and addressing some of the weaknesses, tightnesses that they may have, and then, get them on a good program, stretching, strengthening, and then, go out and start hitting some balls and get ready for the spring.
You know what, Brad, when you see certain golf swings, you probably look at this in an entirely different manner than most of us. You can probably look at a motion and go, that guy's got a bad back, or that guy's got a bad shoulder. You can just see the way we wind up compensating, can't you?
100%, and I've been very, very fortunate along the way to be around some really good teachers, and Jeff Cooper with the Phillies was one of them, and our longtime friend Dave Persley, who was down with the Braves for a number of years, and of course with Gino here in St. Louis. But when you kind of know how the body works and how it's supposed to move, and then all of a sudden you get into some of these compensatory type issues, and as a simple athletic trainer, I kind of describe people of walking around with a rock in their shoe, and all of a sudden now they get a blister or something, and all of a sudden their knee hurts and their back hurts and their elbow hurts because they got something going on with their ankle.
What's an easy thing then for golfers to do? And like simple things that someone's listening right now and they say, yeah, I can do that in my living room when I'm watching a football game, and that could help me in the spring.
Oh, well, that's a great question, Danny. So, I mean, the thing is that with Greg Rose, who's out at the Titleist Performance Institute, he says, if you don't assess, it's just a guess. And again, those aren't my words, but I think it's really simple. And again, a lot of these things, when you keep them simple, there's really a lot of proof in the pudding with that. So TPI has come up with an assessment that is very easily done. You can do it anywhere. You can do it in a clinic. You can do it on the driving range. And it's 16 different motions. And once we assess these, then we give you a specific program to address any deficits that you may have, whether it be flexibility or whether it's strength. And we send you home with the program, and it is spot on addressing the issues that you personally have.
Well, it's interesting, Brad, because when you just enabling someone to get more flexible is amazing how much strength that opens up for somebody and their body and their golf swing, doesn't it?
Oh, 100%. And Jay, and you know much more about this than I ever will. But again, if we can work on the hip motion, and if we can work on a little pelvic control, and we can work on a little bit of shoulder turn, boy, I tell you what, you open up that window, and boy, you get a little more speed. With speed, there's power, and power there's distance. And to quote another one of these guys that have assessed a lot of golfers, no one has ever come into a therapist asking about golf and say, "Can I hit it shorter?"
Yeah.
Everybody wants to hit it longer.
We hear that, Danny.
Yeah.
How many? I mean, we'll be Danny and I
Every
be
week.
sitting having lunch or something. They're like, "I want to hit it further," and it's that the equation's not difficult, man. If without speed, it's not going further. I mean, you can make someone's golf swing a little more efficient, so they might hit it on the nose a little more frequently, so they might get a few yards out of it, but it's not going to be significant until you get more speed.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And that's one thing that the golf evaluation will do is that it will address your specific needs. And I know when we visited earlier in the year, we talked about John Rahm and John Daly.
Yeah.
And again, you can't cookie cutter these type swings. And if somebody, says, well, you have to do A, B, and C, they're really not looking at what you physically can and can't do. So John Rahm, he takes it about, his backswing is, the club's about shoulder high.
Yep.
And he's still able to line his parts up and bang it out there, 350 plus. John Daly wraps it around his neck, and he does the same thing. But, boy, I tell you what, if you made John Rahm John Daly, you'd break him because he physically just can't do these things.
Yeah. Brad Henderson is our guest from SSM Healthcare.
Yeah, so Brad, when you start thinking about your program, you guys use a K-Vest. You guys use some super advanced stuff that's, PGA Tour guys still using it. This is not like some fly-by-night sort of thing you guys put together.
Yeah, and I appreciate you bringing up the K-Vest, Jay, because when people have had knee replacements and they've had back pain, they've had hip surgeries, those kind of things, you really got to figure out how to use this new joint. And I know you had a new knee, and we had you on the K-Vest, way back in the day, and that kind of thing.
I also did my rehab with you guys, and I mean, first of all, I was shocked at how many locations you had that were so convenient. But second of all, man, that rehab part of that therapy was so spot on for my golf game, and it raised a beautiful level in my game, like almost immediately.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you mentioning that, and and again, when you talk about our working with the right therapist, we have a lot of specialty programs. So when we talk about men's and women's health, lymphedema, Revital, which is our cancer rehab, amputee program, and then we get into our various sports programs. So we have therapists that specifically will work with, running, contact sports, our flexible sports, and, whether they're dancers, cheerleaders, those kind of things. And then we get into our overhand throwers. And then, of course, as we're discussing our golf program. So, if you contact us, we're going to put you at the right location with the right therapist and really dial you in to make sure that you're in the best hands that we have.
All right, I got to ask you, has pickleball been one of the great investments for SSM Healthcare? Are you getting everybody from pickleball coming to visit you?
Gosh.
Well, I tell you what, pickleball has just taken the country by storm, and we've seen this as a business opportunity to sponsor the Missouri Pickleball Club, and it's a great sport, and typical as these some of the weekend warriors get out there and they go a little too hard, a little too fast. That we want to make sure that they know we're available to help them get back on the court as quick as possible.
Now you guys have 90 locations? Is that right?
Yeah, 90 locations. We have 80 outpatient therapy locations on both sides of the river, and then we have 10-day institute, which brings the number to 90.
So, Brad, when I was doing I had my right knee replaced. This is my fourth year this November. I would go into a couple of different places because once I got better from the initial rehab, I was able to go into more golf-specific stuff. But I was seeing people that have all sorts of different concerns and some injuries, and even, just trying to recover from some sort of other non-sport related. I had my knee replaced because of too much sport and too much golf and all of that. But there were other people that were in there that, your stuff was kind of covers the gamut of how to get people back out and doing what they need to do.
100%. And our day institutes, if you need more than one type of therapy, we'll come pick you up. And we have, as I mentioned, 10-day institute locations. If you need speech, you need therapy, OT, that kind of thing, we'll get you there and really will put you again in the right hands. And again, with our orthopedic conditions, we also take care of stroke people as well as the low back pain, concussions, and all that kind of stuff. So when I had a choice to who to work for, SSM really provides top quality care and our specialized programs and our therapists are second to none.
Okay, final question for me. So I mentioned this before. Give me some exercises that I could do at home that's going to make me be ready to go for golf in the spring. Is there something simple off the top of your head you can think of?
Well, I that's another good question. You and I have known each other a long time. You have a lot of good questions, But Kent Biggerstaff, who was the head trainer with the Pittsburgh Pirates before I went over there, now works on the senior PGA Tour.
Great guy.
And Jay knows him, and Biggie's been around athletes longer than I have, and I'm pushing 40 plus years. So I had Biggie on our national sports a golf call, and the trailers that are at the tournaments and that kind of thing. We asked Biggie, it's like, well, what goes on in there, and what do they work on? They work on balance, they work on flexibility, and they work on core strength. So everybody thinks there's all these secret things that are going on, and you know what? If you don't have the basics, it's going to make it really difficult to do a rotational activity on a consistent basis and be efficient with it. So you mentioned, what can you do? Yeah, you can work on your core strength. Okay, you can work on your flexibility of your shoulders, of your upper back, your low back. Hamstrings, hip flexors are important as well. And calves, and as people that walk and those kind of things, so it's not reinventing the wheel, but the main thing is you get at it at the right pace, and
makes sense.
And again, you don't eat an elephant, all in one bite. You do it one small bite at a time. And again, making sure you have the right progression to get back into your activities is the safest way to look at it. And if you can't do what you did the day before, then you've probably done too much.
Brad, it's interesting because I think people would be shocked to realize how many locations you have and how close and how convenient they are. But one of the things that I've been impressed with what you guys have is when I have come to you and asked for something, or we've sat down and had lunch, you guys are such community stewards. You guys, you're there for, you supported the Play Yellow thing that Danny and I did at Topgolf. But you guys are there for countless charities on Mondays, and you guys are all not only trying to take care of we golfers and keep us on course and keep us moving, but you're also there to support all sorts of causes between your runs, and they go on and on.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. And again, we don't have as many locations as Walgreens, but we're chasing them down, to try to have one close. On every corner. Yeah, on every corner. But giving back to the community, and also having locations that are close in your neighborhood with the right therapist to take care of your individual needs is really our goal.
Great stuff, Brad. Thanks for coming by Elevate. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate your time.
That's Brad Henderson from SSM Healthcare. And when we come back at Elevate, we'll wrap up the show. Heading down the stretch, this is Golf with Jay Delsing.
I am delighted to welcome Folds of Honor to the Golf with Jay Delsing show. Lieutenant Colonel Dan Rooney and his team donate 91% of all funds directly to these scholarships. And oh, by the way, to date, 52,000 of these life-changing scholarships have been awarded since 2007. 45% of those 52,000 scholarships have been awarded to minority recipients. So join the Folds of Honor team today and donate at foldsofhonor.com.
Welcome to the Corn Dunes Golf Course.
I would like to welcome you all to the Corn Dunes Qualifier. The winner of today's tournament will get an automatic bid in the big banana.
There's the anglers.
I'm from the great state of Oklahoma, oil man by trade, lover by persistence, and golfer by anointment.
The metal irons. Real golf wives.
What are you doing?
The wind's picking up.
Are you going to go down a club?
I don't know, but this breeze feels amazing on my Botox.
Denzel Washington.
We've all seen you putt. I don't need that black magic voodoo nonsense that's in your putter to affect my putters.
Jesus Chips.
There's two things I love. It's golf and the Lord. So let's get to blessing.
Johnny Longo and the Pindicate.
The prize money, 10 times that of any other scramble tournament. I mean, it's like the live tour of scramble tournaments.
Scramble, the first golf comedy TV series ever.
Now available on Amazon Prime Video.
Hi, I'm Adam Betts, PGA professional and owner at Family Golf and Learning Center. We welcome golfers of all ages and abilities, from the junior golfer to the experienced players. From our indoor TrackMan simulators, large short game area, grass tees, and driving range bays, to our golf instruction, leagues, clinics, and camps, we connect you with every resource to reach your golfing goals. We look forward to helping you improve your golf game at Family Golf and Learning Center, where we make St. Louis better at golf. Visit us at familygolfonline.com. That's familygolfonline.com.
Do you remember the golden rule? I'm sure you do, but just in case, it goes like this. Treat people the way that you'd like to be treated. At People's National Bank, that one statement is the cornerstone of what this bank is all about. Locally owned, with 23 locations in Southern Illinois and the metropolitan St. Louis area, People's National Bank parlays a robust menu of commercial or personal banking services you could possibly need with a friendly yet hardworking Midwestern attitude. Maybe you just want to do business with a bank whose entire team lives in the same neighborhoods as we do. If you're like me and doing business with someone you trust is important to you, then People's National Bank is the bank for you. Jason Rantham, local president, is here for you to call, and he'll answer any questions you may have. His personal cell is 314-974-2243. You can also find us online at peoplesnationalbank.com. People's National Bank is here for all of your banking needs.
Hello, friends. This is Jim Nance, and you are listening to Golf with my friend Jay Delsing.
Hey, Jay Delsing here, and I know I speak for all of we golfers. We're always looking to try to improve our game. For me, that means I go to one place, and that one place is Pro-Am Golf in Brentwood. Tom DeGrand opened his family business in 1975 with a goal of providing St. Louis with the finest in golf equipment, instruction, and technology. Whether you need a new rangefinder, your first set of clubs, or anything else you can think of, Pro-Am Golf has just what you're looking for. If you're a scratch handicap or you carry a 20 handicap, come visit Pro-Am Golf and inquire about a lesson from Tom DeGrand. He's been fixing golf swings and making St. Louis better at golf for over 40 years. Go get your gear, lessons, or anything golf related where I go, and that's Pro-Am Golf in Brentwood. You can also visit them online at Pro-Am Golf USA. That's ProAmGolfUSA.com. It's Pro-Am Golf, proud sponsor of the Golf with Jay Delsing show. Hey folks, we just opened the Jay Delsing Golf Shop. If you need anything golf related, you need a hoodie, you need a visor, you need a quarter zip. My daughter Gemma has spearheaded this effort, and I so appreciate all of her help. But we are live, and we are ready to get you into some golf gear. Folks, know this. With every single purchase, I will be donating either to the Western Golf Association in support of the Evans Scholarship Program or to Folds of Honor and the great Lieutenant Colonel Dan Rooney. So everything that you buy from me, we're going to make a donation to those great causes. Thanks for checking it out. It's jdelsinggolfshop.com. Are you tired of watching your golf scores go up every year? Despite new equipment and even a couple lessons, you still fight that slice or your inability to get that ball up and down out of the bunker? Well, get ready to experience better golf with Elevate Golf. At Elevate Golf, we're changing the way golfers practice with our innovative and data-driven approach to learning, and most importantly, improving. We have an array of membership options where you can find the perfect fit for your golf, your lifestyle, and your budget. Whether you start in our full-service gym, the short game area that has real sand bunker, or one of our 7 TrackMan simulator bays, the team at Elevate Golf will do a complete assessment of you and your game, which is crucial because if you don't know where you're starting from, it's nearly impossible to attain a goal or a new level. Call us today at 636-265-0557 or visit us at elevategolf.com. That's ELV, the number 8, golf.com. Contact us today and get ready to play better golf.
Heading down the stretch from Elevate Golf, the CarShield Studios on the road this Sunday morning. And with Jay Delsing, I'm Dan McLaughlin. As always, Golf with Jay Delsing is presented by Daugherty Business Solutions. Boy, it is interesting as we just visited with our buddy Brad Henderson from SSM Healthcare. But it is interesting. This is the time to kind of unwind if you're a golfer because the season is come and gone. You try to get ready for the next year, and you try to maybe break some bad habits with your body, all those kind of things that Brad was talking about.
Well, what about his career? I mean, that is one hell of a career, and I love
He's one of the best.
And I love how that crosses over the baseball. You know, it's all of these different motions that are not natural for our bodies to do. You know, and he was talking about how the right-handed throwers were also right-handed hitters, and so you had to try to get them to do get the other side of their bodies matched up so you could get more balance. And yeah, I think it's just super cool, Danny. It's interesting to me when I sit here and think about how far golf has come, and I think about what it was like when I first got on the PGA Tour all these years prior to Tiger, and then Tiger hits the scene. And there's just all of these explosions. And, I mean, one of the reasons why Elevate Golf is even around is because Tiger made this game so popular, so cool, and put so many eyeballs on it.
I love what Brad was talking about with the Champions Tour and what happens inside the trailer.
Yeah.
You know, and the guy that I was at, I can't remember what day it was, either day 1 or day 2 of the Ascension, and I was leaving late. Had to do some work for the Ascension that night, and people had left, and all of a sudden you saw that golfer and that golfer leave and that golfer left, and there's another one, and then at the very end there's 2 cars remaining on the parking lot, mine and Bernard Longer's. And Bernard Longer is a machine, and he keeps himself fit. He's 67.
Yeah.
It's incredible how he looks, and it's obviously paying dividends for him.
Oh, my gosh, Danny, 47 wins on the Champions Tour, and he's coming out of the truck. He's closing it down. He's taking care of his body. I mean, he tore his Achilles tendon playing pickleball, didn't he?
I think that's what it was.
Pickleball or something. But the point is so well taken. I mean, he is at a different level. He's just at a different level. He's taken himself, taken care of himself at such a high level, and it shows in his game, and it's just super impressive. But I got to tell you, Danny, I sit here we're in the short game area at Elevate Golf, and I'm looking at that bunker, and I'm just looking around, and there's so many people here, and this is just like a super cool facility, and it's just neat to watch the game of golf be so popular and have so many different options for people on how to use it and how to get better.
That's part of our tip of the cap, which is brought to you by
the Dean Team Volkswagen of Kirkwood, 314-966-0303. Our buddy Colin Burnt, good friend of Danny and I, he will take great care of you. Just give him a call. He can get any kind of vehicle. But Danny, we are going to tip our cap to Matt Minder and the Amateur Players Tour, as well as Zach and Caleb and the Tyler and the entire team, Taylor, everybody that's out here tonight or Sunday, taking great care of us, and also providing this for the community, giving us something, an additional way to get involved in the game, to improve, and just make us better. And I just kind of pinch myself sometimes, D. I got so lucky to be involved in this game, and I still get to enjoy all these crazy different explosive things that make it even better. So that's the tip of the cap. It's brought to you by the Dean Team Volkswagen of Kirkwood. 314-966-0303. Call Colin today. He'll get you a new vehicle. Plus, he's a great guy. He'll treat you just like family.
Okay, what was the common injury that you dealt with? Season would end, and you'd have the aches and pains. What was it back then for you? And
always my back.
Yeah,
always my back.
You've had what? How many back surgeries?
I've got my second one scheduled in December. D. I first had herniated discs in my right side, but I was really young. I was in my mid to early 30s, and every time I would stand there and putt, I would just get this aching down my right leg and down all the way down to my knee, and it would always, it prevented me from having quality practice. It prevented me from practicing the length of time that I wanted. And so I went to a place and I rehabbed this thing really, really hard to try to see if I could avoid surgery. And it went away. The pain, I went to a place called Athletes Performance. It's in Scottsdale, and I just worked hard on my core strength, and it went away. As I got older, it shifted and went to my left side. And
you think you're overcompensating?
And I don't know what that golf swing I had, bro. I don't know. Anything could have happened. But what wound up happening was that I thought I could rehab that, but those extra 12, 13 years, it just didn't happen. And so I had back surgery when I turned 50, which kind of sucked for my Champions Tour career because I lost about 3 years of playing. And then and now I'm 64, and I'm going to have another, it's called a spinal decompression. I don't know. But I got to get rid of that pain. That pain is unforgettable, D, and it affects every part of your life. Laying down, sitting, it just won't go away.
Now, we're not doctors, but I do have a theory, though, that I'm going to throw at you. I think we're going to see, that golf didn't see this before, which was a lot of back injuries because the back is being used and abused when you play the game of golf. But with the violent swings that we see now the players are more fit. They're stronger. There's more muscle mass. I get that, but you never saw a guy swinging like this back in the day.
D, I'll tell you, one of the things that hurts me the most now is my left ankle. And that sounds absolutely crazy, but guys, pull up any tour player swing on YouTube and look at their left ankle. It torques, it hits the ground, it posts, and then it rolls, and then it'll come back up off the ground, and it takes the brunt of this force. And there are mornings when I wake up, D, and I'm like, I don't know if I can, I got to get this thing going, get the blood pumping down there because it is a mess.
Yeah, I can imagine. And you made me think of immediately Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah.
Just watch the bottom half of that swing.
Man.
The torque that he has on his ankles and his feet.
He crushes it. And you're absolutely right. And D, you got to remember, it's what makes when you think of in terms of a baseball pitcher, because they're always hurt, always dealing with Tommy John. That's why Nolan Ryan was such a freak, because he never had any arm injuries. And you sit there and go, the body's not made to play NFL football. The body's not made to play NHL hockey. It's not made to swing a golf club as many times as we do. There's a price to be paid. And I loved what the point that you just brought up about the modern game. We don't know yet.
No.
We have not seen enough of it, but look at the guy that led the charge and look at what his body's like. Okay, forget about the car accident, but he's had 5 back surgeries that we know of, and he's a mess.
Yeah, it's tough to watch.
It's tough to watch. I mean, remember when we were watching, I think it was Augusta together, Dean, it looked like they showed some part of his ankle, and it was almost like there was...
He was wearing pants, and you could see actually through the pants a little bit on the shin area of what he's dealt with, and it was tough to watch. It was tough to see.
It was tough to watch, but I think you're spot on. I mean, the all that torque, you got to remember, when you're hitting an iron shot, you're actually taking a piece of turf with you. I mean, so as much as, it's not necessarily hit fat, so it's not like you're running into something and stopping, but you're still jarring those that area of your body. And Danny, wrists take a beating, elbows take a beating. A lot of players have trouble with their neck eventually. It's going to be interesting to see. I also wonder, D, if it doesn't shift and move it earlier in a person's career and in their life that that prime doesn't move and get younger. You know what I mean? Like when our prime was considered these, like 32 to 38 was our prime. You're like, you'll never get to win your major probably until, something in there. And gosh, I don't know if these kids make it to 38 now.
It's been interesting. The last couple of weeks, we've been watching guys that are on the cusp of making the top 125, which then means you earn your card, obviously, as you well know. And we were driving over here this morning, and you were telling me, hey, D, I was one of those guys.
Oh, man, it was so good. So, Danny, so nerve-wracking. That last tournament, you're like, man, I had this entire year, and I couldn't get myself off of this bubble, and then you come into the last tournament of the year, and you're on the bubble again,
Right.
and you're like, oh, man, what is going to happen? So you run all these machinations through your head, and it's stressful as all get out. You're like, it's hard to breathe sometimes. It can just get so overwhelming.
The more I'm around you, the more I realize that you had a stressful life, You're trying to make cuts. You're trying to get your card. You're trying to stay off the Corn Ferry. I mean, you're doing everything you can.
I was one of those guys that was blessed with ignorance in terms of that because I slept great every night. And whether I was winning a tournament or not, I slept great every night. There was very few nights that early in my career, I had some stumbles where I was like, what am I doing? Am I ever going to make a cut again? Am I ever going to, and where that could kind of snowball in your head and you start playing out all these scenarios. You're like, I'm terrible.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait a minute, I don't even have a club in my hand and I just got worse. So that's where sports psychology and things came in extremely handy. And the funny thing is, I think I was on the tour for 3 years before I knew that everybody had a sports psychologist guy. And I was like, back in the day, it was like a secret. Now it's like all part of your entourage. You got your yoga instructor and your chef, your pilot, and your sports psych guy. It's all part of the team.
But it's so important. I mean, if you think about the most important things in sports, between the ears has got to be number one. I mean,
number one, 100%.
You can be a physical specimen. You can hit the ball 390 yards there. It doesn't matter.
No.
If you don't have it up here, you're going to struggle.
Danny, Tiger Woods' biggest asset was his brain. He knew what he was going to do. He had already won these tournaments in his mind. I'm convinced of that. And then when he went out on Sunday and Saturdays and all, he had already seen the movie. I mean, okay, yeah, we had a different little scene here and there, but he knew the outcome and he was living it and he had seen it and visualized it, and then walking himself through it was impressive.
As we wrap up the show, I emceed the SLU baseball dinner a couple weekends ago. Mark McGuire was our guest.
Yeah, what a fascinating guy he is.
He was on your show, and he talks about visualization all the time. So he'd be on deck, and you remember seeing those shots, he'd have his eyes closed. Visualization, and that's something that he did a lot of, and I know that's something that golfers talk about all the time too.
All the time, Danny. And when I had Big Mac on the show, we got to get him back on again because he was fascinating. He told me that Tiger kind of challenged him in the gym, and Tiger kicked his butt.
It's amazing.
I mean, I'm like, what? But so Tiger was actually a different sort of animal. But you're so right. I mean, it's amazing that if you don't do some mental prep for your round, you're doing yourself a disservice. It's like once I started going to see Bob Rattell and some of the other sports psychologists, it was like you've got to go to the mental gym just like you go to the physical gym, just like you go to the driving range, and you've got to get your mind right.
It's amazing.
Danny, I had the great Chris Carpenter on the show before we started working together, and his interview was amazing. And he talked about getting rid of the junk. You get rid of the lousy thinking. You get rid of the negativity. You get rid of all that stuff, and then you just get focused on what you want to do, and then you go like hell after it. You free it up, and you do what you can do.
It's been a great show here at Elevate Golf. Glad that you're with us on Golf with Jay Delsing. Our thanks to Matt Minder, the Amateur Players Tour. They just released their schedule here in the last 7 to 10 days or so. Brad Henderson from SSM Healthcare. Zach Conlin, managing partner here at Elevate. Jay, great to be with you as always. We'll do it again next Sunday. And how do we end the show?
Danny, we got the Car Shield studio on the road. Love doing the show with you. Hit them straight, St. Louis. Are you and your company struggling trying to keep up with all of your city, county, and tax state filings, Secretary of State, Department of Revenue, and FCC tax responsibilities? Well, help is on the way. Compliance Solutions is here to relieve your pain. They can prepare, file, and pay each and every one of these for you. As the industry leader, Compliance Solutions will customize a plan just for you and have you covered from start to finish. Founder and CEO Mark Lambert believes it's far more important for you to be spending time with your customers and growing your business instead of being inundated with the never-ending regulatory nightmares. Wes Johnson is the Executive Vice President, and his personal cell is 214-226-7813. Call today and be prepared to get some good old-fashioned customer service. Compliance Solutions will get you out of the weeds and back into the middle of the fairway. That number again is 214-226-7813. Have you noticed how expensive it is to attend or send your child to college? It's nearly impossible not to be blown away at the current cost. And oh yeah, we both know it's only going to cost more next year. Well, get ready for a game-changing solution for you, your child, and your entire family. Have you heard of the Evans Scholarship Program? This is a 120-year-old program that's been sending qualifying young men and women to college absolutely free. That's right, for no cost to you. In 2024 alone, 1,130 men and women are receiving this scholarship across 24 of the finest universities in our country. To date, over 12,000 men and women have graduated using the Evans Scholarship, with the average GPA being 3.3, and the graduating rate for these scholars is an impressive 95.6%. To qualify, you must have a strong caddy record, outstanding grades, excellent character, and a verified financial need. To find out more, visit WGAESF.org.
Hi, this is Adam Betts from Family Golf and Learning Center. You're listening to Golf with Jay Delsing.